Hey, it's on Richard McNamee, aka the Irish Comic Nerd, and this video I'll finally be continuing my read through of the 616 with the first 6 issues of The Incredible Hulk. Let's get into it. Starting in the summer of 1962, created by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, The Incredible Hulk issue 1 introduces us to the nuclear and gamma scientist Bruce Banner, who, after trying to save a teenager, Rick Jones, from the test site of the military's new gamma bomb, he unfortunately gets transformed into everyone's favorite big grey monster. Wait a minute, grey? I thought the Hulk was supposed to be green, I hear you say. And you would be right. However, in issue 1 of The Incredible Hulk, he was initially depicted as grey instead of green, supposedly to differentiate him from other popular monsters such as Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. However, due to some inconsistencies in the printing of the color gray at the time, a creative decision was eventually made to change the character into the popular Green Avenger that fans are familiar with today. Although this isn't the only thing that was different about the Hulk in the first 6 issue run. He didn't have his iconic purple shorts that most fans are familiar with today. Instead, he would wear something closer to a torn up bodysuit or dungarees, with the shorts coming near the end of the initial 6 issue run. Even then, the cover art would depict them as more of a maroon color. As well as that, his transformations didn't happen when he got angry, or he couldn't transform at will like his MCU counterpart.
Dr. Banner, now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret, Captain. I'm always angry.
Instead, he would transform into the Hulk at night and Bruce Banner during the day, and then later Banner would come up with a machine that would allow him to control his transformations. This was a problem because it meant that the Hulk could simply destroy it, and as each issue went on, the Hulk would become more dominant and stay as the Hulk for longer, making Banner's transformations that bit more unpredictable. Throughout 6 issues, the Hulk would fight villains such as Gargoyle, who was an evil Russian scientist with a significantly large head, the Toad Men from outer space, who were aliens who threatened the planet by planning to throw the moon at it with the use of a magnetic gun, the Ringmaster and his circus of crime, Mongu, a giant robot man controlled by Russians, Tyrannus, who was banished by the other world by Merlin and now wants revenge on Earth, Metal Master, who wields the power of magnetism, and last but not least, the US military led by Thunderbolt Ross, who would attempt to hunt down the Hulk throughout the 6 issues, including almost shooting him into space in issue 3 until Rick Jones was able to send out a signal bringing the ship back, which would lead Rick Jones to temporarily being able to telepathically control the Hulk. Like a lot of comics during this time, it is filled with Cold War propaganda as well as playing into the public's relatively new fear of atomic bombs and nuclear energy. However, this is a contrast with a healthy distrust of authority that a lot of earlier Marvel comics seemed to have as they attempted to tap into the more rebellious nature of young people born in a post war generation, made popular with actors like James Dean or the rise of genres such as rock and roll a decade or two prior, which I feel like early Hulk very much leans into the aesthetic of, with the misinformed military representing the establishment or the overbearing parent. The first issue would also introduce us to most of the key characters of the series going forward. Bruce Banner slash the Hulk, its kid sidekick Rick Jones, Bruce Banner's love interest Betty Ross, and her overbearing father General Ross, who would be one of the main antagonists throughout the first 6 issues of the series. The series would also deal with the Hulk's ongoing goal to be just left alone, as he ultimately doesn't want to hurt anybody and just wants to be himself and exist in peace. Unfortunately, though, this initial run of the Hulk was short lived, and much like his MCU counterpart, the character would be relegated to appearing mostly in other titles that weren't his own. And with that comes the end of part 6 of our journey through the 616. Feel free to let me know down below if you've ever read the original Incredible Hulk run, and if so, what did you think of it? Make sure to subscribe and follow so you can follow along this journey through the 616. And thanks again for watching. See you next time.